Hi everyone, welcome to today. We're going to talk about the crossroads between helping people and making money, because I know it's kind of like a mind fuck a little bit. I totally get it. I had this issue for so long and I still do in many ways, so it's a really good topic. Before we get into it, I just want to make two announcements. One is I have an open life coaching slot for September. If you want that slot, then DM me right now or DM me when you're ready. I would love to fill that spot with someone who really wants to finish out this year with a bang. You know, I can't believe after August, we only have like 4 more months left. It's insane. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, this Monday Talks with Morgan is going to move to the evening, probably like 6:30, because it does not work with my schedule, and there's a lot of conflicts, and I'm like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I'm going to move it to the evening, and hopefully more people will be able to join then too, so that'll be good. So yeah, those are the two things. I have an open slot in September. DM me if you want it, and the second is this is going to move to the evening on Mondays. Anyway, let's talk about it. This conversation was prompted by someone coming up to me at a networking event and was telling me about some of their business issues. And they looked at me and they were like, I really want to help people, but I also really want to make money. And I was like, yeah, I feel you. And this is definitely one of those things where we want to help people. We want to help people who have low income. I get it. I want to help those people too. And however, we can't do that if we aren't helping ourselves first. If we're not setting prices that are at a good price. Now, that being said, I think one of my first money rants that I ever did on Instagram was about how coaches especially, but pretty much anyone, this applies for anyone, is like people charge too much too soon, actually, like too quickly. They don't have enough experience to be charging $250 an hour. Like coming out of my coaching certification, my first one, I did 40 hours free work, free coaching, and then really, really, really inexpensive for a while so that I could get a lot of experience. And I think that honestly, that time period is invaluable. And I think a lot of people don't take advantage of it. Like they don't really like, okay, I'm going to coach 5 people, 10 people for free. And that's what I really recommend to someone who's actually really low income. I recommend go to a new coach and ask if they're doing any free hours, because that may be a really cool way to get coaching if you're like really, really low income. But anyway, one of the biggest things, hi Mihal, thanks for joining. One of the biggest things is just understanding where your mindset is at, right? A lot of people say to me, a lot of people use the thought of like, I want to help people as a way to get around really dealing with their scarcity mindset. And what I've found is that as I deal with my scarcity mindset more, I'm actually able to help certain people that really, really need it and deserve it. And so instead of, giving very low prices to everyone, I really suggest like one of the best ways to get around this is to really price yourself at the appropriate amount and then go a little, and then be able to have the option to give scholarships, to give partial scholarships, maybe to do a giveaway, to do some free stuff, some free content for people. I created the 5-day course to build your business totally free because I was like, I need women to have this information. I need women to know it's not that hard. And so I created that, and it's my free course because I want everyone to have that content. Now, that being said, I can do that because I charge the appropriate amount for my services, whether that be group coaching or whether that be like one-on-one. So really understanding, right? Let's go, like, if you look at a span of a month, let's say, how many clients do you need to have, right, to pay your bills? But also the flip side, how much do you need to charge to have a low enough amount of clients that you're not burning out? So it's like this really beautiful like scale we have to have. And that really, of course, that like the answers to those questions change industry to industry, job to job. So you're welcome to DM me, by the way, if you want more help on like the actual numbers. Because I also know like some people do one-offs, some people do packages, you know, so all of that stuff can affect it. But I always like to say, like, when you help yourself and your income is high enough and your income is abundant and in overflow, as Amanda Francis says, you know, then you can help people. You can donate to charities. You can give people scholarships. I have a few people on scholarships right now, and I love that I can do that for them. You know, like I just love it. It makes me really, really happy. So, yeah. And of course, then also you can give scholarships to people who, you know, are maybe within a demographic that you feel really, really connected to. So there are so many options, but also most importantly, like I just see so many coaches getting taken advantage of. And this is something I had to deal with a lot, or really a lot of healers, I would say in general, intuitives, right? Like body healers as well. You know, because their prices aren't set, they're being taken advantage of by people who actually do have the money, you know? So anyway, you can help people and you can make money. I think the most important thing though is understanding like the balance, you know, the balance of how your business works, but also just the balance of understanding your own abundance. And this is where, you know, I would really encourage people to dig into abundance, you know? Like, what does abundance overflow mean to you? How much do you need to make to have that overflow? And you have to understand, like, once you put it out into the universe, it doesn't mean the universe, for some people they do. And I know people who have this and it's amazing. But usually it takes like the physical plane of earth to get up to our manifestations. You have to give it time. And this is something I am horrible at. Patience has never been my strong suit. So I understand that it's like, oh, I manifested it. Why isn't it here? Well, because it takes time. You have to work towards it. You know, just because you're manifesting something doesn't mean you don't have to put the work behind it. You know, this is like a really important kind of like balance there. So anyway, you can help people and make money. It's really about understanding your own, you know, money mindset, your own abundance mindset, and, you know, really getting clear, I think as well, of like who you want to help, right? Like who are the people who you would like to give scholarships to? That's really important too. So you can like call them in and give that to them as well. So I just want everyone to know, if you're thinking, I'd like to make money and help people too, I get it. I also want to do that. So, and it's okay. It's okay as well. I want to just like kind of give myself and everyone listening like permission, you know, to just be okay with like being a woman who has a lot of money, but also being a woman who helps a lot of people. It's totally possible. It's totally possible on a big scale, you know, and on a small scale. So anyway, I'm going to stop prattling on, but I really, really would encourage everyone, if you want to look into this more, to really ask yourself, do some journaling around what does abundance look like to you, you know, and also like what does overflow, which is like Amanda Francis's word for like so much money. What does it look like to you? But also, you know, where did you learn your money patterns? This is really, really important. Yeah, like, did you learn them from your father or your mother? Why are they the way they are? You know, really, really think about it. And then, like, the third thing I really recommend is start to really pay attention to your language around money. And this is something that I'm still working on. So if you're a friend of mine, you've probably heard me be like, oh shit, no. But, you know, for example, like, oh, I can't afford that, right? is that really true? Can you afford it? Or do you not want to put your resources there? Because I find a lot of people use money as the excuse for not doing things when they really just don't want to do something, which is fair, by the way, if you don't want to do something, but set that boundary in integrity, right? Like, oh, I don't want to do this, versus I can't afford it. Now, there are times where truly you or I don't have it's not that we don't have the money per se, but it may be that it would be irresponsible for us to put our money there, this is something I'm really having to deal with lately, is like this feeling of like FOMO, like, oh, my friend is going somewhere and I really want to go there, so let me spend the money on that when I actually have bills and responsibilities that need to be paid first, right? So we really also need to sit in like, am I doing this out of FOMO or am I doing this because I authentically want to do it? This is a big one for me. This is a big one for me, actually, not just with like travel, but like with coaching courses. I literally like want to buy all of them, so it's pretty funny, like really like, is this FOMO? Is this marketing that's getting to me? Or do I authentically want this information and want to take this? So that's really been something I've been working on lately. So this work really never stops. Once we like figure something out, we go to the next level. But I would really recommend you ask yourself, like, where did I learn my patterns? And what are my patterns around money, and calling in money, as well as spending it. So that's what I would suggest in terms of like, if you want to journal around this and get down to the bottom of it. I love journaling, especially for this kind of like mindset work, because it can bring up things that you just never really understood, or like you kind of knew subconsciously, but like you never saw on the page. And then you could read it back and just go like, oh crap, I get it. I get what I need to do to work on this. And then the last thing, and this is totally from Amanda Francis's book, Rich as Fuck. So yeah, I just want to give her props for this. But one of the things that she asks, in that book is like, what does your wealth woman look like? Like, what does wealthy woman Morgan look like, And for me, wealthy woman Morgan looks like someone who has an overflow abundance of money from her clients, but also has the ability to give a scholarship, has the ability to help friends out when needed, has the ability to contribute to, Dome International, which means so much to me. Also, St. Paul's Episcopal Church, which although I'm not a member of, I donate in honor of my nephew. So these things are important to me. They're important to all of us. So when we really get clear about who is that wealthy woman within all of us, like what does she do with her money, And that can be a really powerful question to ask. So anyway, those are the 4 things to ask yourself. Do a little journaling around this. DM me with anything you discover. I'm always so fascinated with money mindset because we just come from so many different like backgrounds and cultures, and money is very, very entangled with like every single culture. So do that and let me know how it goes. And just to reiterate my 2 announcements from up top, I have one open September life coaching slot. That's a private life coaching slot. So DM me if you want it. And the second thing is this is going to be moving to the evening. So I think 6 o'clock. So I will announce that later. But yes, next week, join me in the evening. All right, guys, take care.